Hello everyone and welcome to DRAWLLOWEEN / INKTOBER 2017. And the reason why I'm calling it DRAWLLOWEEN / INKTOBER is because I'm technically participating in DRAWLLOWEEN, meaning I am doing the prompts. But sometimes I'm doing a drawing mixed with a painting, and then sometimes I'm just painting. So I think that it would be better if I just kind of combined both of the challenges into one. I mean, it's still mostly DRAWLLOWEEN because it's those prompts, and typically I do a sketch, so I'm pretty much always drawing, but there are a couple of these where most of them are painted. So, you know, it's kind of a mixture, really, and I don't have time to edit all of the video on each day. So I have combined a whole week's worth of my drawings into one episode. So I plan to have an episode every week for DRAWLLOWEEN. And don't hold me to that though, because I don't know if I can commit to the whole thing. If I get sick, I could see this being like very hard to keep up with, because I literally come home from work and do this pretty much all night long, especially in the beginning. Because in the beginning I was actually 2 days behind. I was, and this may not be a very good excuse for you guys, but I was really hoping to get my overhead. See, I have this new overhead thing where I can put my camera on it. And I had the arm. It's called like a, I think it's Manfrotto. I don't know. I'll leave the link in the description. But I was hoping to get it in before DRAWLLOWEEN started. But it came on a day when I had other stuff I had to do. So I couldn't jump right on it, and, well, I had the arm ahead of time, but I didn't have the super clamp, which, without that, I couldn't really do anything with it. So, basically, I was 2 days behind, now that I've just drawn that story out way too long, and so I had to draw like 3 things in one day. What I ended up doing was actually I just drew 2 drawings. I think it was Monday. I'm kind of getting all my days mixed up, but just try to track with me here. I was a couple days behind, so the first day I started, I ended up drawing 2 things, and then the second day I drew 2 more things, and then after that I was caught up. So currently I'm caught up. Today that I'm recording this audio was the ectoplasm day. And that one was actually probably the most interesting to me, and concept-wise, because I actually didn't really know what ectoplasm was, as crazy as that might sound to most of you. Most of you probably know what it is, but apparently there are like 3 different definitions, so I just kind of picked the most interesting one, and it's probably the one everyone else is going to be using, but I don't really know that for a fact because I haven't seen anyone else's ectoplasm drawings yet. But you'll see that at the end of this video. And I just kind of wanted to go over, like, what it means to be an artist. And it's such a broad term. And for me, I think that what it means to be an artist is it can be whatever you want it to be. So depending on if you have a side hustle that is you doing your art, or whether you do your art as a hobby, or whether you do your art full time, no matter how you look at it or what you are actually doing, if you're creating art, you're an artist. So what you need to remember is that don't be afraid to call yourself an artist, even if you're new, even if you're older and you just started. It doesn't matter what your age or how new you are to art. If you're creating art and you love it, not necessarily love your art, because we don't always love our art, but if you love creating art and you love participating in some kind of artistic or creative endeavor, call yourself an artist. Just be brave and, yeah, don't let people tell you you're not if you are, you know? It's just one of those things where, I don't know, like, I've heard that it can be a stigma for some people, or it can be hard for some people to admit that they're an artist. I haven't really had that issue, but I mean, I guess my advice would just be, if you identify as an artist on pretty much like any level, just don't be afraid or ashamed or try to hide that. It's fine. And I think that this challenge is great because you can draw every day, but it doesn't necessarily have to be this glamorous, crazy, detailed piece of art. It can be anything from a sketch to a full-blown painting with layers and details. So I think that, art's subjective, obviously, but I think one of the most interesting things about art is actually not even necessarily the art itself. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, the process itself that's what gets me going. Sometimes it's just moving the pencil, moving the paintbrush, deciding what colors to use, or deciding the composition, or maybe you even have a story in your mind of what the subject is and what she does in her life. For example, this vampire girl. Like, what if she's misunderstood? What if she actually doesn't go on these rampages and all this stuff, but I don't know, what if her life is not expected? What if it's different than the norm of other vampires? Just like, do you have stories that go along with your artwork? Obviously, it's not necessary, but it can be fun to kind of dream up ideas as you're painting or drawing, or, even when you're in the concept phase and you're just sketching. Like, sometimes if you're in the concept phase and you're just sketching your art and you come up with a really cool, kick-ass storyline, like, that can make all the difference in how the art turns out. I mean, if you have explanations for things that the character wears, or that they have around them, props or objects in the artwork itself, or maybe even the place that they're inhabiting in the art piece, I think all of it's important. And another thing is, don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect at art, and don't put so much pressure on yourself to create a drawing every single day. There's two different things about this. One, it's great to have a little bit of pressure, to make art every day, because it can help you learn discipline. But if you let that pressure get in the way of your life, if you're sick or something, or you have family obligations that are really super important in that moment, and they were just, I don't know, emergency situations, or like you didn't expect them to come up, like whatever the case may be, and you feel like you need to participate in that instead, don't feel like a failure if you miss a day, is basically what I'm trying to say. And don't feel like a failure if you just quit, because the whole point of these challenges is to just see how far you can go and how much improvement you can have. And so that's why I've decided that some of these drawings I'm going to stay in my comfort zone, but some of these drawings I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone. What do I mean? Well, what I mean is, typically, as you guys probably have noticed, I typically do women. I typically draw or paint women, and typically from like the bust up. And occasionally you'll see a hand here or there. Whatever. But in this challenge, there are so many prompts that have nothing to do with my specific style. It's outside of my realm or my comfort zone in some cases. For example, you'll see a little bit later in this video the Black Lagoon prompt. And I didn't really remember in my head what that was supposed to look like. So I had looked it up, and then I kind of was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember seeing something about this before. I wasn't super familiar with the whole creature from the Black Lagoon, but once I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this now. But all the details of the creature were so new to me compared to my usual subjects. So when I did that, it I decided to kind of come out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I kind of had to because I couldn't really make it look like one of my normal girls. I mean, it's a creature from a black lagoon. I mean, I guess you could say I could have a lot of leeway and just completely abandon the basic shapes of the creature or whatever, but I just decided to try to create it close to the original and just kind of put my own spin on it. I made it female, but I still kept all of those features, those lines, those fins, those just all of that, and just kind of added my own little spin on it. I mean, that one was tough for me. I wasn't exactly sure how to approach it, but I did the best I thought I could, and again, it's just one day out of the entire month. So, if you think of it like that, you've got 31 prompts if you do this challenge. And I know there are different prompts for Inktober than there are for DRAWLLOWEEN, so, maybe look at which one appeals to you more. But at the same time, maybe tell yourself, to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. If one of them has a lot more prompts in it than the other that challenge you, maybe go with that particular challenge. So if Inktober has more out of the comfort zone type prompts, maybe go with that. But if DRAWLLOWEEN does, maybe go with that, if you feel like it. Of course, if your schedule is just insane and you don't have the ability to really get out of your comfort zone and you just merely want to improve in certain ways, like maybe you want to improve your speed or stamina, maybe just focus on staying in your comfort zone. If you're limited on time, don't worry too much about it. I kind of feel chill about this challenge. Like, I don't feel like I'm scrambling when I work on these, which is kind of strange because, like I said, it takes me so much time to do these because I'm also filming it every day. And I'm kind of excited about that, even though I don't know if I'll be able to feasibly do this every single week, every single day of this month, because it is such a challenge for me. And it does eat up a lot of my time, but at the same time, that's part of what makes it great, is it kind of lets me see what I can accomplish and in a certain amount of time. Plus, it helps me see like how much I can juggle in such a short amount of time. So, for example, sometimes while I'm drawing these and I'm recording, I'll run out of space on my memory card. And I only have one memory card for my camera. So what do I have to do? I have to turn off my lights, take out the memory card, put it in my computer, copy over the clips, and I usually go get a drink of water, use the restroom in that time. And by the time I come back, it's done copying, and I take the memory card out, put it in the camera, delete everything off, and start again, and finish that particular drawing for that day. And again, I take the memory card out, and put it in my computer again, and copy over the rest. So you can see how this can take a long time to do. So I feel like some days I'm going to do very simple drawings, maybe just line art, just ink, and then other days I want to do full-blown little miniature watercolor paintings. So let me know what you guys think. Are you all participating in DRAWLLOWEEN or Inktober? And if so, which one? And if you're doing kind of a blend like I am, let me know what you think about it. Are you having fun? Are you struggling? Are you nervous about something? Is there a prompt that is kind of making you kind of feel a little worried? Like, are you going to be able to accomplish it? I'm super excited about the prompt for tomorrow. The prompt for tomorrow is alien, and I cannot wait to make an alien girl. I am just so excited. When I was a kid, aliens are like one of my favorite things. I was obsessed with Lisa Frank, and you could probably guess that. But I just loved the Lisa Frank Alien line so much as well. And it was just so cute. And I can't wait to put my own spin on little extraterrestrials. I think it'll be so much fun. So as you can see right here, I'm finishing up the Creature from the Black Lagoon and signing it. And I really do think that I like how it turned out. Even though it's not perfect, there are lots of things I would have done differently. I would have definitely done the sky differently. I'm not a big fan of the sky, but I like the colors of the water. And even though it's technically not a black lagoon, it's kind of murky and has like the colors of the creature kind of reflecting out of it just subtly. And I really like that. So this last one is the ectoplasm one. I decided to be a little simpler today, give myself a little bit of an easier time, because on the one hand I really love this concept, even though it was, like I said, it was brand new to me. But on the other hand, I just kind of had one of those days where I needed to be a little bit easy on myself, and I didn't need to put as much pressure on myself. So I kind of went a little bit easier on myself today and kept it just to black line art over a sketch. So I hope you guys think that is fine, because I just think we sometimes need to give ourselves a little bit of a break and still go along with the challenge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to know in the comments down below, what do you think of DRAWLLOWEEN, what do you think of Inktober, and what do you think about this month and all the challenges and the excitements that lie ahead. Thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and don't forget to smile. Bye!